Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, a so-called black man. Not answering the call will be the biggest mistake of your life. Let me say that one more time. Not answering the call will be the biggest mistake of your life. So we're going to go ahead and get into it, and we're going to see what that call is that you should answer. Because if you don't, that's going to cost you your life. And this is the book of St. Matthew, the 11th chapter, and we're going to go down to verse 6. And it says, "And blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me." Right, because in these last days, we seeing that people are being offended in the way that the message is being delivered to them. You know, they getting caught up in their feelings, you know, and they not receiving the message that's before them. They can't receive it. They're not answering the call. The call is ringing, and they just hit hitting the ignore button. You know, the message is right there in front of their face, man. And it's hard to miss it in these last days because it's everywhere you look. But because you are offended, you don't want to pick up the call. You know? So it says, one more time, "And blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me." And a lot of people, when they hear the message, it offends them. You know, whether it's, you know, Yahweh Shai came for a particular group of people, or he didn't come to save everybody, or, you know, whatever the gospel, wherever the gospel is being preached at, you know, they offended because they don't want to accept it. They rather go to, you know, this philosophy or that philosophy, jump to this religion, jump from that religion to another religion. They refuse to pick up the call, man. They just hit the ignore button every time, you know. And there's a reward for that, you know. And let's go and see what that reward is. This is in the same book, but a few chapters over. This is Matthew 25th chapter. And let's just get right into it. Verses, because we're going to read a few of them. 41. And it says, "Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepare for the devils and his angels." Right. So in that day, when you know, trying to, in that day, you're going to be trying to call Yahweh Shai, man. And he going to tell you, depart from him. You know, ye cursed into everlasting fire. That's when those missiles going to be coming over here to purge this land, man. Prepare for the devils and his angels, you know. And we know the main devil is Esau, Edom, and his angels, the other minions, these other nations, man. They got missiles prepared for you, man. You know, because you didn't answer the call when the call was ringing, you didn't answer it, man. You slid your finger and you hit ignore. You know, and now you want to redial that number. It ain't picking up. It's a service out of service. This number is no longer in service, basically. You know. So what it says, let's read it again from the top. "Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire. Prepare for the devils and his angels," man. You know, that's going to be a sad day for you. Because those missiles going to purge this whole land, man. And you ain't going to have no salvation. You're going to have to grit it out. You know, you're going to have to go through that agonizing pain, man, that torture. that heat, you know, whew, man. Verse 42, for I was hungered, for I was in hunger, and ye gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you took me not in. Naked, and you clothed me not. Sick and in prison, and you visited me not. You know, and these are metaphors of scenarios like, you know, for instance, and it says, and you gave me no meat, you know, the word is the meat, you know, and you didn't receive it. I was thirsty and you gave me no drink. You didn't want to drink the word, man. The word was given to you, and you know, you play like you didn't want to drink the word, man. You wasn't thirsty. So it says, for I was in hunger and you gave me no meat. I was thirsty and you gave me no drink, you know. So when you didn't pick up the call, you basically, you know, gave Yahweh shot of the finger, man. Because up in verse 40, what does it say? And the king answered, saying to them, verily I say unto you, and as much as you have done it to one of the least of these, my brethren, ye have done it unto me. So when you didn't pick up the call, that set a chain of reactions, man. When you hit the ignore button, not only did you not provide salvation for yourself, but you also slapped Yahweh Shai in the face, man. You know? So it says, for I was in hunger and you gave me no meat. I was thirsty and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger and you took me not in. Man, the word is here for you right now, and you hitting the ignore button over and over and over. The phone, the call is ringing off the hook, man. Everywhere you look, you checking your phone, you know, you checking the call and you seeing who it is, and you hitting the ignore button. But we're gonna get around to a little bit more while you keep hitting the ignore button. You know, you could have picked up the call at least you would have, you know, you could have had salvation for yourself. You know, not saying what else you could have did if you'd have answered the call and how you could have been used to help, you know, push this word out. For the labor is plenty. You know, so there's plenty of work to be done, man. But you, for whatever reason, you know, because you was offended, you didn't want to answer the call. You slid your finger and you hit the ignore button. So now we reading what's going to happen in that day. It says, I was a stranger and you took me not in, naked and you clothed me not, sick and in prison and you visited me not. And you know, a lot of, you know, when you're in prison, you know, you get one call, man. You get that one call, you hoping that person pick up the phone. And the person, you know, and you on the other end, they said, this is such and such from this institute. You know, do you accept the call? And you said no. You know, you didn't want to pick up the call, man. You ignored it. It says, then shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we then in hunger, or thirst, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister unto thee? 45. Then shall he answer, 45, then shall he answer them, saying, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye did it not to one of the least of these, you did it not to me. So when you don't pick up the call, man, that's the worst thing you can do, man. Because not only do you damn yourself, but you damn whoever else that he has set up aside for you to minister the word to, man. And that's just like slapping him in the face, you know, because you was offended with the word when it was coming out to you, how it was delivered. Oh, Yahweh Shai didn't come to save everybody. He only came to save a elect group of people. You know, or you can't eat this and that. You know, you gotta put you gotta put the word first. You no longer can indulge in, you know, all the vanity of things you did before hearing the word, such as like eating grotesque food, you know, pork, shrimp, lobster, crabs, you know, going out, defiling your body, your temple, putting chemicals in it from smoking different types of tobacco, cigarettes, you know, put inside, you know, those filters, to, you know, putting tattoos on your body, living in this world. You know, you was offended when you heard the call, so you ignored it. 45. Then shall he answer them, saying, verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye did it not to one of the least of these, ye did it not to me. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal. So all of you that didn't answer the call, you're gonna go into everlasting punishment, man. That's those nuclear missiles coming over here, man. And it's gonna feel like everlasting punishment once it purges land over here, man. Babylon, America, you know. You're gonna get it firsthand at ground zero. That thing gonna feel excruciating, man. But what it says, but the righteous into life eternal, because the righteous gonna get the eternal life, man. They're not gonna have to suffer through this purge that's coming to this land, you know. So, you know, you ain't getting too many more times to ignore that call, man, before, you know, it's too late and you can't pick up and you can't hit the redial and you can't get anybody on the phone, you know, anybody to answer that call when you try to call back, you know. It's going to be too late for you by then. So let's go and see why, you know, some people decide to ignore the call when they see it, you know. And you can't deny, because nowadays, you know, you got caller ID. You can see who calling you. You can't say you don't know who it is because it's popping up on your screen. Who is it? Who's calling? You just choose to ignore, you know, for whatever reason. You feel like you know, got a lot going on. You're trying to build in this society, in this kingdom. You don't want it to fall. You know, you want it to continue to prosper so you can be rewarded. And you don't believe these prophecies are going to come to, you know, fruition. So to you, it's just like that call is like a spam call or a scam call. It ain't real, you know, so you just hit the ignore button. But we're going to see why. So this is in the book of, you know, let's go to Matthew 22, verse 14, because it tells us that. It says, for many are called, but few are chosen. So it's already predestined that you was going to get that call, but you ain't chosen to answer it because your judgment has already been laid out for you from the start, you know. But for the elect, you know, they see that call, you know, they going to get it, man. They going to pick up. Some of them going to pick up in the nick of time, man, and get the message, you know. Because we in these last days, man, like I said earlier, you ain't going to get too many more calls that you're going to be able to ignore before everything is offline. And you can't make no calls and you can't receive no calls. And you just got to go on what you know from everything that you've been shown and taught leading up until this time, man. So this is the book of St. Matthew 22:14. For many are called, but few are chosen. So we gonna see why those ones that aren't chosen ain't chosen, because they was called, but they didn't choose to pick up the phone. They didn't choose to pick up the call. Let me say. And this is the book of Mark 14, verse. Let's go. We got a few verses here. Verse. Let's go back up. This is 14. The sower soweth the word, because You getting the calls right now. And you know good and darn well they ain't spam calls and they ain't scam calls. It's a call for you to pick up, man. It's work. You've been looking for work. The call's being made right now for you to get this work right now. You know, there's plenty of work to do. And you ain't doing that. You just laying down, chilling. You can get ready to, get up and go get work whenever you feel like it. But, it's coming to an end, man. You ain't going to be able to get that work like you can right now while it's still, good and plenty, man. So this is verse 15. And it reads, and these are they by the wayside, where the word is sown, but when they have heard, Satan cometh immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts. So they hear the word, because the word is being broadcast, pursuant to the gospel should be preached throughout this earth, and then shall the end come. So they hear the word, but what? Satan, the adversary, come immediately and take it away. They misogynist. They don't treat their women right. Or what kind of God would punish his people after all these years? Or the Bible is a white man's book, man. Or whatever thing could be sold because you weren't really committed to hearing it. You heard it, but you really wasn't committed. It sounded good for the time being, but all it took was, just a little bit to throw you off. And you bit it, hook, line, and sinker. So it says, and these are they by the wayside, where the word is sown, but when they have heard, Satan come immediately and taketh away the word that was sown in their hearts. And these are they likewise, which are sown on stony ground. And we're going to see why. Because a stony ground, you can't produce nothing. It's no roots to be, produced in it. Let me not jump ahead. So it says, and these are they likewise, which are sown on stony ground, who, when they have heard the word, immediately receive it with gladness. So they hear it and they be like, oh yeah, that's good. That sounds good, man. Everybody can get salvation, But then when they hear, this group of people are going into slavery, they like, oh no, that don't sound right. That don't sound like the God that I know. No, I can't really get down with that. You saying he gonna what? Put people into slavery, to servitude, hard bondage? Oh, I was with you up until that point. See? So it says, and these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, who when they have heard the word, immediately receive it with gladness, and have no roots in themselves, and so endure but for a time. Afterward, when affliction or persecution arises for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. And like I said, when they have to really, put to test what they heard and read and see it for themselves, they be offended. They go out, they hear it, and then they hear the word, and then the judgments for those who are of the other nation and those who are of, Yasharallah, Israel itself. And they say, how can a God do something like that? They don't understand. Yahweh is a balance. He's not just good. And they fail to realize that. See, the Christianity dogma paints a picture that God is just all good. That he wouldn't send a famine to this, to this land, and he wouldn't send these missiles to come, purge all this sin that's reached up to the heavens. He wouldn't do that. They can't fathom that. So it says in these, verse 16, so it says, and these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, who, when they have heard the word, immediately receive it with gladness, and have no root in themselves, and so endure but for a time. Afterward, what? When affliction or persecution ariseth for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. So now, you got some family members that come up to him, oh, you hear you in that, oh, you in that group, you under that teaching, you believe that? Oh man, you don't celebrate birthdays and Christmas and no holidays. Are you is you being held? Are you okay? Blink twice if if you need dire assistance. They looking at you like, what have you, what have you became? They don't know you got the new creature. You put off that old man. You a new creature now. To them, it's strange, man. They seeing a change in you and they not being able to accept it. They liked you better when you was ignorant and didn't know anything and was living in sin. You was more easy for them to receive. So it says, when affliction or persecution arises for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. So, you was good until, you had to come across somebody that you knew and they asked you about this, like, is this what you believe? And when they started coming out with, different ideas, you was offended. So it says 18, and these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lust of other things enter in, choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful. So, these people, they didn't answer the call because they had something already going on. They was like, yeah, the word sounds good, but how does that fit into my agenda? What I already have planned, ahead of myself. How am I supposed to be able to fit the word in while I'm getting this bag? Can I still do this and can I still do that? If I'm a famous entertainer, can I still promote the promotion of having sex with another man's wife, killing my brother? Can I still do all this? And on the back, secretively, like, listen to the word. So they want to try to play, they want to try to play the middle, straddle the fence, be lukewarm, So it says, and these are they which are sown among thorns, such as hear the word, and the cares of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches, and the lust of other things entering in, choke the word, and it becometh unfruitful. So they never was really gonna answer the call anyways, man. But they still had to have an opportunity. So when that time come, they can say that they never had that call. So everything is being played out purposely. So nobody won't have a built-in excuse that they never got a call. Because right now, calls are being put out. Everybody was given an opportunity to answer the call. It was calls going left to right. You can't say, oh, I never got a call. The calls went out. And we ain't gonna play like, oh, I didn't have a device where I could pick up that. No, you had it. You saw it. You denied it though, because you was busy doing what you was doing. So you ignored the call. That call is, once that call rings, man, that thing, you gotta put, you already know. It makes you put things into perspective. And a lot of people ain't really, ready to take on that call. That's why they ignore it. This is Matthew. Cause a lot comes with answering that call, man. 10. And let's go down to verse 34. And it reads, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. See, this call, it ain't coming to send peace on earth, man. See, before, everybody was picking up that call, and it was scam. It was a scam. It was spam. It was a form of Christianity. Oh, God came for everybody, and people was willing to pick up the call. But now that the real call's being made, they not picking it up. They ignoring it, you know? And we're going to see right here. It says, think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foe shall be they of his own household. Right? Read it on. 37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. You know? So it's going to come a time in that hour of temptation when you're going to be put to the test. You know? Is you going to go take the mark, that toy that they got for you, that present? Or are you going to rely on the Most High, Yahweh, through his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, for deliverance, you know? So this call, it comes with a price, man. It makes you be held accountable. You can't play like you didn't know. You chose not to. We read that in Mark, the 4th chapter. The sower. So a lot comes with this call, and that's why people don't answer it. But when there was nothing tied to it, people was answering that call left or right because it fit their agenda and it made them feel right. They could sleep better at night when they was in that Christianity. You know, that Islam, Muslim. It fit their agenda. They could balance two things. But this, it requires your whole attention, your focus. You can't play trying to straddle both sides of the fence. But you can do that with the, what's that, Egyptian, Pan-African? You can do that with those type of doctrines. But this call right here, no, you can't do that with this call, man. This call, you got to be all in. Those other calls you get, yeah, you can pick up, come back, pick up, come back, pick up, come back, and you won't be held accountable. But those calls are not going to save you. You see? This is the call that you need to answer to get salvation with. And a lot of people are ignoring that call, not knowing the outcome. So 36 says, a man's foes shall be they of his own household. And like I said, you're going to have your own people saying, you've changed, man. You're not the same anymore. Ever since you started listening to that group, those people picking up the book, reading it for yourself, you taking on a whole new persona. No, you woken up, man. And you see that everything you knew or thought you knew was a lie. And it's put there to distract you from the truth. You know? So you haven't changed. They didn't wake up. And they didn't want to wake up because they didn't want to answer the call. Because they weren't chosen. So to them, you are a opposition to them. Because when you around, they think to themselves, oh, I gotta be held accountable. And they don't want to be held accountable. That's the problem. They like living in sin because it's easier for them. They can justify their wrongdoings. They can have a religion like Christianity, go to church on Sunday and have no accountability, or have the Pan-African movement and make them feel good about themselves, thinking that they come from Egyptians and, they were, come from a royalty like the pharaohs and stuff like that. No, this is the real royalty right here, man. The real kingdom is at hand, and this is what we pick up the call for. This is why we answer the call when it rings, because we want the real kingdom, that eternal kingdom forever, man. So let's get back to it. 36, a man foe shall be they of his own household. 37, he that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. I don't mean you can't love your parents, but when it comes to the word and what they telling you, if it counter goes with this word and you choose them, now you putting a wedge between you and the Most High. And you chosen man over the Most High. And it tells you that in Acts, the 5th chapter to 29th verse, we ought to obey who? The Most High, Yahweh, over man. You see? Let's go ahead and get that while I'm here, then we're going to come back. So this is the book of Acts, the 5th chapter. And what was it, the 29th verse? And it reads, then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey the Most High rather than men. So you got to make a choice. That's what it comes down to. Whether you are part of the elect or not, it's already been written. So it's already been put out who gonna answer the call and who isn't gonna answer the call. You just fulfilling your role, you're part of the prophecy, you know. But the call is put out to wake up the elect, the chosen, so they don't miss out on the call of their lifetime, man. You know, and then once all the calls being put out and are made, then comes the judgment, man. That's what we waiting on. We're waiting to get on up out of here. So let's hop back over to Matthew, the 10th chapter. And I believe we was down to like 37 or 38. 37. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that taketh not his cross and follow after me is not worthy of me. So you got to put this cross on, man, and wear it. Nobody said it was going to be easy, you know. But you got to pick up the call and wear the cross, man. You're going to have to give up a lot of things for Yahweh Shai's sake, man. So when that day comes, he going to answer the call when you call on his name, man. He going to pick up the call for you. You know? And you're going to receive that eternal life, man. It's going to be all worth it. Bear your cross, man. Give up this world. Ain't shit in here once you come into the truth that's worth, you know, losing or ignoring that call for, man. Bear the cross. Even if it means losing your life. "38, and he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me." You know, so you weren't worthy to begin with. "39, he that findeth his life shall lose it." So you thinking you done found your life because, you know, you made it and you didn't think that you did it with the aid or the help or the direction of the Most High guiding you to what you made of yourself. You thinking to yourself, I found my life without the word. I didn't need it. I made it. I made myself a self-made millionaire. And I didn't even need the word. See there? The word wasn't true after all. That's your mindset. Because you've been put in a trick bag to believe that. Because you weren't part of the elect to begin with. So he gave you the riches. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. He let you be took in your own devices. Because why? You didn't answer the call when it was made. You ignored it. So yeah, he gave you the riches because you don't understand. Those riches ain't going to do you shit when you can't take them with you when you pass away. But he got something for you that you going to feel when it comes. That all your riches can't deliver you out of. 39, he that findeth his life shall lose it, and he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. So if you carry your cross, and that means losing everything you got, or everything that you had stored up for Yahweh's sake, you what? He that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. You're gonna find it because you're gonna get that times 100 in the kingdom. Pursuant to Matthew, the 19th chapter, the 29th verse. Let's get that. And then we're going to close out. St. Matthew 19, verse 29, and it reads, everyone that have forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold and shall inherit everlasting life. So that's your reward for losing your life, for leaving, for losing all this on this side for Yahweh's sake. You're going to get that back. Then some. And there's nothing better than everlasting life, man. Getting a new body, a glorified body. So answer the call, because not answering the call will cost you your life. We're going to close out in 1 Peter, and then we're going to take it from there. This is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, so you can answer the call when it's made to you. And you're not drunk off of these different philosophies and swipe and ignore the call. Because we gonna show you why. Because the devil will get you drunk enough where you don't even know the call is being made, and you gonna swipe, ignore it. So be sober, be vigilant. Because once that call is being made, you want to make sure you answer it and you don't ignore it. Going on. Because your adversary, the devil, the deceiver, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. And if he could get you to ignore that call, his job is done. He got one. And that's what he's looking to do. He looking to throw you off, get you drunk, and have you miss the call, and have you ignore the call time after time after time until it's too late, until he can take everything offline, and you can't get no more calls being made, and you can't make no more calls. And now he got you out in the open, and he gonna tell you, you got to come down, and we got to fix a remedy for everything, and we can get you back online. He's gonna say, come on down, we can get you back online. You want to make a call? We can get that call, we can get you back online where you can make a call. And what? All you gotta do is receive our present, our mark. Let us put it in your right hand or on your forehead, and you're gonna be back online better than ever. And this is what he's gonna present to you. He's gonna present to you his call, his mark, his present. And let me just say, if you answer that call, that's it for you. It's a wrap. So we're going to end off on that. And we're going to say, stay strong, stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom.